All right, so in this lesson, we're going to be going over YouTube descriptions. A lot of this information is adapted from a blog from Hootsuite. If you don't know, Hootsuite is not only a platform to help manage content on social media platforms, but it's also kind of become this hub for providing training over social media. So let's dive in. There are two types of descriptions that every marketer needs to know as it relates to YouTube. That's a YouTube channel description and then a video description. So the channel description is the text on your channel's about page. It helps viewers understand what to expect from your brand. The video description, on the other hand, is the text below each of your videos. It helps viewers find your content and helps them decide if they want to watch it or not. And when this is done right, YouTube descriptions can help boost search engine optimization, help boost your subscription numbers, and would ideally increase view counts and watch time. All of these things are things that we can measure through the analytic page on our YouTube channel. But good descriptions also help your videos rank higher in the YouTube suggested search function. So just like Google has a algorithm that they use to help return relevant information to the person using the search engine, YouTube does the same thing. So the algorithm tries to help predict what content you want to consume and will help when will suggest certain videos to you, certain content. So here are 20 tips for writing effective YouTube descriptions. The first one is to use specific keywords. You need to find and choose 1 to 2 keywords that accurately describe the content that's in your video. This is going to help maximize search traffic to your video. You want to include these 1 to 2 keywords in your video's description and the title to increase its chances of ranking in potential viewers' search results. The same goes for channel descriptions. YouTube's algorithm places a lot of importance on the keyword in your About page. You want to use them wisely. A lot of people a few years ago, what they would do would they would kind of pack their metadata with websites and videos and keywords. They would just pack them full of any word or any keyword that they could think of. So the idea is that the more words and the more variety of keywords that you add and attach to this content, the better chance that you would have of someone Googling or searching for something and this content appearing in the search results. So, for example, if you had, clickbait or something, you want to just jam pack it with any word imaginable. So, even if your video is about celebrity Jennifer Aniston's past relationships, if somebody searches about bacon, you want this video to pop up. If somebody searches about dog food, you want your video to pop up. So you just throw all these keywords at it. Now the search engines and the algorithms have become very smart, and they know when people are loading their content with keywords, especially keywords that aren't relevant to the content that you're posting. So it really does behoove you and benefit you to decide what those 1 to 2 keywords are and use those keywords appropriately. Okay, if you're not sure what keywords to use, there are some software and some platforms available to you. So Google Ads is a great resource. There's Keyword Planner and Google Trends. You do have to have an account to access both of these, but it's a really good way to get started. So what you'll do is you'll simply type in the words that best describe what your channel or your video is, and Google will suggest the closely related keywords. So the idea is that you select your keyword. Let's say that it is agriculture. That's your keyword. Fantastic. You'll then want to use that word in your description. You'll want to use that word in your title. use them multiple times if you want, but it's also going to benefit you to not only repeat that specific word, but closely related specific words. So what are words related to agriculture? How about agronomy? How about farmers, ranchers, food producers? Think about these phrases. Repetition lets YouTube know a particular term is relevant to your video or your channel. Use the keyword 2 to 3 times for best results. Any more than 3, and it might get flagged as keyword stuffing. So that's kind of what I was talking about before. You just put random, as many keywords as possible into the metadata or into the keyword list, so that no matter what somebody searches, your video pops up. So it's smart. YouTube is smart. Google is smart. The bots that crawl through the content on a regular basis will know when something has been stuffed with irrelevant keywords. So it's important to think like a person, because YouTube will be able to pick that up as well as Google. Include related keywords in your descriptions, kind of like we talked about. This provides viewers the extra information about your content. It also helps you rank for those terms in Google and YouTube searches. So here's an example. This is a description from Exploring Alternatives. It includes complementary words like zero waste, reduce garbage, and low waste. And even better, they put all of those complementary keywords into the first sentence of their description. If you misrepresent your videos, viewers will stop watching them partway through. This will damage your search rankings. This will also damage your reputation. You want to avoid clickbait titles in irrelevant keywords. And they may help you rank at first because you'll get a lot of clicks, but YouTube search algorithm will see that very short watch time and will know that people are not interested in it, a couple seconds into it, because it's not what they expected. The content did not match the title. So avoid it. Write like a human. Know your audience. Use language that your viewers will understand and relate to. Incorporate keywords in a natural way and not as a list. Luckily, you don't have to be a wordsmith to write a great YouTube description. There's a lot of resources out there to help polish your skills. So let's take a look at NPR's music video description. This one is full of personality. You can read it yourself. It might be a little hard to read, so I'm going to read this one. Bob Boylan: it seemed only fitting that when Rhyme performed the brand's Tiny Desk concert, that it be at night, illuminated by flickering light. The music Mike Malash sings and writes conjures the evening and a swaying romantic vibe. So that sounds like a person, right? It's really well crafted. Now, this one may be well crafted, but I'm a little hesitant when it comes to keywords. I think in this instance, NPR is hoping that you are here for the Tiny Desk concert, and you're searching Tiny Desk concert. We see it in the title. We see it in the description. We also see, complimentary words like music, sings, writes. But I think that they're maybe not really concerned with necessarily trying to rank higher up when it comes to certain keywords. They kind of have a well-established brand already. So front load important information. So front loading means that you write all the important stuff up front. You always want to start with a compelling summary of your video or channel. Mention your top keywords in the first 2 or 3 sentences of your description for best results. There's a really good reason as to why we want you to front load your information and put the keywords up front. So YouTube's algorithm prioritizes the beginning of your description. So when the bots crawl through the web and kind of catalog all the information that's there, they start from the top and work their way down. And so in their algorithm, they put more importance on the beginning of the description. So getting the first sentences right is going to be really key for search engine optimization. These sentences are also the first thing that your viewers are going to see when they search for the content. Okay, so there's a phrase that we use, especially in web design, and it's called above the fold. So if you take a news stand, for example, so if you walk into a convenience store or grocery store and you see the rack with all the newspapers on it, they're all going to be folded in half, and they'll all have the masthead up at the top, so you can see the title of the newspaper. Everything that follows, that's from the top of the newspaper to the fold, is called above the fold. And so you want that important information to be above the fold. And in this instance, you want all of that to be the first couple of lines that appear before someone has to click the show more button. So everything that you see without clicking the show more button is considered above the fold. Everything that appears after the show more button is considered below the fold. Here's an example that we can see on the page that provides the show more page or the show more button, but we want all that information to be above the fold. If a viewer does decide to show more, chances are they love your stuff. So this is a great opportunity to promote your brand. Add a brief channel description, your social media handles, and any relevant product links. You can also include metadata here to boost your search engine optimization. So what I want to see below the fold are links, as many links as you can. You also want to put call to actions, um, anything you want. This is where you can direct your audience. You also want to aim for clickable descriptions that solve real world problems. So if you are someone searching for how to tie a tie, think about what you'd want to click on. Okay, so now if you're on the other side of the camera, if you're the content creator, think about what the title needs to be for someone to click on it. Here's an example. Oh, 70% of millennial YouTubers use videos to learn new things. So this is really great. You know, the how-to videos are going to be pretty popular. So how to tie a tie, quick and easy. That's pretty self-explanatory. I know that if I'm in a hurry, that might be a great to tie a tie and get out of the house. This might be a really great link to click on. Always include an obvious value proposition in your description. Why should someone subscribe to your channel? How will your video benefit them? Answering these questions will make the value to your audience and to your potential viewers more blatant and more obvious to them. Try to at least answer one of these questions in simple terms, and bonus points if you can do both. But always ask yourself, like, if you're the potential viewer, you know, so what? What's in it for me? And so you always have to be able to provide them something. You have to have value and have a proposed value that they understand and that they can buy into. Now you've got the viewer's attention, you got to use it. The best call to actions are clear, urgent, and show an obvious benefit to the viewer. Done well, they can increase engagement, subscriptions, and more. Add a call to action in both your video and your channel description. Encourage viewers to like, comment, subscribe, or read more. Please include links to related playlists or to websites or social media accounts to get them engaging even more in your content. Notice how, in this instance, Hootsuite has incorporated CTAs into their channel description. So take some time to read that one. It's a great example. It's all developed to get people to continue to engage in their content. Okay, so there's some cool tips that, some tricks that you can use. So if you're uploading quite a bit and you are putting the same types of links in over and over, or if you have a boilerplate, you can, instead of like copying and pasting all this information into your video descriptions or retyping it over and over, you can use default descriptions. This feature automatically adds key channel information on every video you upload. So I'm not going to show you on this lecture video, but if you are finding yourself uploading content a lot, this might be a really good thing to look into. Another thing that you can look into is unique descriptions. These generate better search results than a template does. So you want to make each description unique, and so I think starting out with a kind of the default description is great, but add more. Okay, timestamps. Timestamps are interesting. So you want people to watch your entire video, but this might not be the case all the time. So if you're thinking about one of your favorite, YouTube content creators, if they're monetizing their account, that means that they put content up, people watch it, and they get paid. Or if they have advertisers, you want them to watch all of your video. If they skip past a section that has ads, or if they skip past a section where you have product placement or mention a brand who's monetarily supporting you, that's bad. But there are instances, and I think this might be more relevant to you when you're working for nonprofit organizations or different commodity groups, that might be beneficial for you to use timestamps. Timestamps in the description are points, they're clickable points that will take you to certain sections of your video that you decide. So I'm thinking if you are recording and putting online maybe an annual meeting, and there are different sections on the agenda, then put those agenda put timestamps for the different segments of the agenda. So if someone just needs to go and look at crop reports, then they can click on this timestamp and it'll take them right to that content. So there are times for you to use timestamps. I think you're safe. It's a safe bet for you to use them unless you become an account that's monetized. In your video descriptions, this is one of the few places YouTube lets you put a link. So use it, but you have to type http:// or https:// on the URL to make them clickable. If you put www.whatever.com, it will not be clickable. You have to have the http:// before it. Okay, how does your description look? 70% of YouTube views now come off of a mobile phone. So you're probably going to upload your content onto a desktop or through a desktop onto YouTube. So you'll be able to see what the channel looks like and what the video and the description and all that stuff looks like on your computer on a desktop. But there might, for whatever reason, it might look weird or look different, or might not be what you're wanting on a mobile phone. So just be sure that you look both places, especially when it comes to where your keywords appear. So if you're looking at YouTube on a desktop computer, you might see the entire title. But if you look at it on your phone, it might cut off some of the characters or some of the words when you're looking at it on your phone, and so you might need to readjust or rework the title so that the keywords appear in the section that you can see on your phone. So just take some time to do it, just to make sure everything looks good. Go ahead and use some hashtags. They're a simple way to help viewers find your content, as long as you use them wisely. Stick to about 15 hashtags or less. YouTube will ignore them altogether if you put more than 15. As always, make sure that they're relevant to your video. Misleading hashtags will only frustrate your viewers. So here's the example on this one. So hashtag fat, hashtag F your beauty standards, hashtag honor yourself. Metadata. So metadata plays an important role in YouTube's suggested video algorithm. Your video is most likely to appear as a suggested video for content that uses similar keywords. As you write, browse popular videos on the same topic and grab a couple of the top keywords from their descriptions and incorporate them into your own. So essentially, copy your competitors. If someone is in the same market and is being successful, it's probably going to benefit you to take a look at what they're doing. You also want to credit your sources. Pointing to helpful resources is a, oh, I'm sorry. Add links to helpful resources. Pointing to helpful resources is a simple way to show your audience you're thinking of them. If you mention any tools that you might have used or any products you might have used, or a blog post, put them in there. Create a link that takes them to that product that you used. All right, so now let's get to credit your sources. If you use someone else's image, music, or footage, list them below in the description, along with any links to their social media channels or websites. Crediting your sources is the fair thing to do, but it's also a great way to build relationships and foster future collaborations. I always think it's a good idea that if you're putting together a video and you need music, try to find a local band or a local artist who can put that together, and then you can always highlight them on your YouTube channel. Is your description attracting the views you want? Writing YouTube descriptions is as much a science as an art, so don't be afraid to experiment. Tweak your copy, track what happens, and then revise again. YouTube Analytics is the most effective way to do this. It can help you understand which keywords are generating the most traffic. It also lets you explore any keywords you might have missed. So let's take a look at some examples. I always find that I need some inspiration before I get started, and these are some great brands that are doing things right. Global Cycling Network, these videos take up all 3 top spots on how to fix your bike. So when you search that, this is what pops up. Their video descriptions are clear, clickable, and include lots of keywords. So take a couple of seconds to look at these titles and even part of the descriptions that we can see to see what are some keywords in your mind. Here is TED Ed. Here is the kind of an example of above the fold and below the fold on a video description. TED Ed starts off things with a short descriptive summary of the video. Then they provide more information about the content, their supporters, and their social media channels below the fold. So a really good indication of a quality description is the number of links that are there. It kind of shows that they've done their due diligence and understand the importance of directing traffic. Edgy Veg has mastered the art of the call to actions. She's also front load her keywords and provides tons of links to helpful resources. MTV Decoded, the first sentence of this video descriptions are kind of powerful. They pull in the viewers from an important question, and then MTV Decoded seals the deal with a strong call to action. All right, so those are some examples. If you have questions, always reach out to me and let me know. Thanks.